Hey, this is Mad Matt from Budget Boosting. Today we're going to talk about, like I said, the intake, which we did a video on. We did an introduction to the 2015 Mustang. Today I'm going to talk about the exhaust, because whenever you get benefit from intake, you want to complete the package with exhaust, because you want your car to breathe in smooth and exhaust out smooth. So as you can see, look at the stock stuff I took off here. It's very restrictive from the factory. First off, you have your turbocharger here. That's no restriction. Turbo is very little restriction. It adds power. Then you go to a downpipe and a catalytic converter. That's a lot of restriction right there. But you know, you have to leave those on in most states. So we didn't mess with that. Then after the cat, it goes to 2 1/4 tubing. And it leads to this resonator right here. This resonator, to me, feels like about 20 pounds of unnecessary boat anchor. And the biggest concern I have about the factory resonator, the hot air comes in from the cat. As you can see, look at the temperatures. You can see by the metal. The color of the metal is showing the temperatures here. And it goes, it's not too bad here, but then it reaches this really hot spot right here. And when you're running your car, that could be like beet red. You contact anything there, you're going to catch it on fire. And it's not good to have that kind of heat resonating up into your car body or your frame. In this case, this is directly below the drive shaft. So having that kind of heat just kind of hanging out there, that's a heat zone. And then as you can see, that heat still stays there in the metal. You see that heat color, and it goes to the 2 2 1/4 pipes, which lead to the factory mufflers, which you can see are 2 1/4. So it goes exhaust tubing from here to here, and it's already really hot from this resonator. Then it gets really restricted from this muffler, which weighs about a nice 6-7 pounds easy by itself. So all in all, if we're not even talking about exhaust flow, we got like a 30 or 40 pound weight reduction right here, plus better flow. So what I replaced this with is a Y-pipe from Summit. If you look at this, this is what I replaced the 1 to 2 resonator with. There is no muffling agent or restrictions in this at any kind. It's just a Y-pipe. So that is total free flow and basically as little heat as possible. So there's no more heat zone here. There's no more hot spot. This eliminates it. And I have heard that Ford had a bulletin talking about resonators having heat spots in them. Well, I called them and they said it didn't apply to my Ford. However, when I looked at this hot spot and I looked at discoloration of the metal, it applies to my car. It applies to it. So I took it upon myself to fix it. My way, the budget boosting way, a Y-pipe. And I recommend you get the 2 1/2 in, 2 1/2 out, because it's easier to transition from 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 than it is from 2 1/4 to 3 inches. That's a big transition, so you need to have a very skilled muffler shop guy that can step up from 2 1/4 to 3 inches. But I recommend the part number that has 2 1/2 to 2 2 1/2s coming out. It's the best way to go. It's the easiest for your muffler shop to install. Okay, I replaced each one of these with a thrush welded muffler. And the way these mufflers are designed, I really like the thrush welded muffler. Here's its design if you look really close. Instead of having glass pack or anything like a muffling agent in there, it just has deflecting beams of metal used to cancel the noise, which is the least restrictive muffler possible. This is just as good as a straight pipe practically, except it does cancel the noise with its vectored metal. So this is my favorite muffler, the thrush welded muffler. It's very similar to a Flowmaster, but I like this design a little better. Plus, a thrush welded muffler is about 1/4 the price of a Flowmaster. So, you know, budget boosting we're talking about. So 2 of these to replace 2 of these. I also went on Summit and found a couple nice 3 1/2 inch exhaust tips, which were about 20 bucks a piece. So all in all, my budget boosting exhaust parts and labor, you know, my mufflers are about $35 a piece. This was about $34. You know, the labor at the exhaust shop was about $200. So all in all, when it's all said and done, my budget boosting exhaust system cost about $300 and some change. Not bad. I have to say that's a hell of a deal. I was going on eBay a few weeks ago looking for catback exhaust for the 2015 Mustang Turbo, and the prices range anywhere from $800 to $1,600. So that's what kind of got me to design my own. So because I really didn't feel like paying $800 or anywhere between $800 and $1,600 for a catback exhaust, because the money I save I can put into other things, other modifications, because there's so many things you can do to these cars to really bring them out, like catch cans for the oil mist that comes out of the valve covers. If you control that, then you have less chances of extreme carbon buildup from the burned oil on your intake valves and your exhaust valves. So food for thought. The money you save doing a budget exhaust will be money you can put into other mods or keep in the bank or in your pocket. Because in this economy, all the money you can keep in your pocket and in your bank account is a good thing. So power and economy and boosting on a budget, that's what I live for. So there's some ideas. If you've already looked at the Mustang, you can see how it turned out. It's like artwork. The exhaust even looks better than the factory did. And there'll be a bunch of still pictures that are going to be playing during this video as well, and you'll see all the good quality that went into this custom budget boosting exhaust system. And alright, well, thank you again for watching Budget Boosting. If you like us, like our YouTube pages, like our Budget Boosting website, like us on Facebook, check out our Budget Boosting window stickers. And hey, remember, knowledge is power. It's horsepower. And you pull two clips, 1 and 2. Then you kind of lift and see these little ridges here. You kind of lift and push back. And kind of lift this little guy out like that. I set it here for now. Voila, look at that. Here's the stock paper air filter. We'll pull it out.